Hi everyone and welcome to KREM 2 News at noon on this Monday. It is good to see you. I'm Laura Papetti and we begin by taking a live look outside as those temperatures are pretty frosty out there, and you can see snow covering the downtown area here in Spokane. Meteorologist Jeremy Legou, he's standing by in the KREM 2 Outdoor Weather Center. And Jeremy, woke up this morning and I had to do some serious scraping on those windows to make my way here to KREM 2.
Yeah, this might be one of the last days you have to scrape a frost off the windows this week, but it might be a little bit of freezing rain or a wintry mix tomorrow morning. Right now, we sit at 28 degrees here in town, and we are right on track to hit that high near freezing later this afternoon, so things are looking pretty good. We still have low visibility in some spots out in Airway Heights, about a half mile. Spokane, 4 miles there in downtown. Moses Lake, 9 miles, and we've now cleared that freezing fog advisory as temperatures start to climb. We are up near 20 in Moses Lake, 19 in Omak. We are up close to 30 in both Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, and in the 30s in Pullman and Moscow. You can see a little push of moisture there kind of moving into the middle of the state. This is exactly what we expected to happen. Now, it falls apart as it hits the middle of the state. When it hits us later today, this same little wave of energy, what's likely is a couple of pellety kind of frozen, melted, refrozen snowflakes that you could call flurries, but that's about it. It doesn't even show up on the future tracker. It's that kind of light. Once that moves through, I do think we see some sun before it sets tonight, and then tomorrow morning, our push of moisture brings first snow, then a freezing mix, then a little bit of rain later on in the day as temperatures really start to climb. Today, the coldest day of the entire week, and we are shooting for 33 later on this afternoon. So today's cool. The days to come are going to be much, much warmer.
All right, my friend, thank you. We'll check in with Jeremy in just a moment. It is 12:02 right now. Snoqualmie Pass is open to general traffic after being closed for days due to record snow. Now, the closures, as you know, not only impacted travelers, people just going to see family or coming home, but semi-trucks carrying mail, food, and other goods. Vehicles parked on the side of I-90 for hours, waiting for news that the pass was cleared and now safe for travel. WashDOT is asking drivers follow the designated slower speed limit. They stress just one crash could block the road and stop traffic again. Not all Washington passes are open back yet. In addition to Snoqualmie, Blewett Pass is open. WashDOT said White Pass would likely reopen late this afternoon, so we're monitoring that. However, Stevens Pass is unlikely to reopen before Wednesday, and that's due to dangerous conditions. And right now, Spokane stores are feeling the strain after pass closures kept delivery trucks in western Washington, so kept them on the other side of the pass. But there is definitely relief in sight. KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez telling us supplies are now beginning to arrive.
That's right. Earlier this morning, at least 2 delivery trucks came through bringing supply to Rosar's here on the South Hill. I also actually was able to speak with the manager about their supply issues. They said the delivery they were expecting last week that did not show up did end up coming on Saturday. So their shelves are looking better, but they are still having trouble with general COVID-19 supply shortages. So weekend shoppers, because of both of those issues, had trouble finding what they needed from their local grocery stores. But on top of that, they are still seeing those shelves empty. So take a look at your screen here. These photos are from KREM 2's Whitney Ward showing empty grocery shelves at a Spokane store. You can see the produce shelves are actually the most affected at this store specifically. Grocery stores are now playing the waiting game until trucks arrive with supplies, but most customers have been understanding.
It's not necessarily the store's fault. If they have the supplies, they'd be stocking them. So I don't know where the supply chain is not getting through. But in stores in Spokane, it is definitely not getting through.
And now there is a chance that Spokane area sees more trucks coming in today because the pass did reopen last night at 5 p.m. Governor Jay Inslee also allowed for truck drivers to have more time during their driving hours so that the essential products can get where they need to go. In Spokane, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
Nicole, appreciate the update. The Cougs are not in class in Pullman. They aren't today and they won't be tomorrow. Washington State University pushed back the beginning of the spring semester in Pullman to give students more time to travel safely. WSU Spokane campus, however, is on a normal schedule. And East Valley School District is closed today due to a COVID outbreak. The district says they don't have enough staff to hold classes for the kids. And while the district will be closed, they are offering COVID testing for students and families at Trent Elementary School until 1 o'clock this afternoon. So just a little under an hour. In an email, the district says they'll use today to plan for the rest of the week. Also happening now, Idaho Governor Brad Little is laying out his legislative and budget priorities for 2022 in his State of the State address. That speech is just getting started, and you can watch it live right now on KREM.com. We are streaming it. The State of the State is expected to focus on the housing crisis, child care worker shortage, and vaccine mandates. In a preview, Governor Little also mentioned funding for childhood education and all-day kindergarten. And we'll have a wrap up of the address. That'll, of course, be on KREM.com and beginning on KREM 2 News first at 4 o'clock. The city of Spokane's temporary warming center closed this weekend after it opened 2 weeks ago at the Spokane Convention Center. City spokesperson Brian Coddington says the center saw anywhere from 100 to 350 people during its peak hours. He called the center a success.
It went really well. It got hundreds of people every night out of the cold and into the warmth. The Guardians served more than 9,000 meals over the last couple of weeks. It allowed people to come and go as they needed to.
The Guardians Foundation helped run the center, as you heard Mr. Coddington talk about. They also worked to connect people with other shelters in the region so they would have a place to go after the center closed. The city is looking for a new location for temporary shelter as events start to return to the convention center. Still ahead right here on KREM 2 News at noon, we are remembering comedian Bob Saget. Also, it seems like everyone has a cough or the sniffles this time of year. But how do you know if those symptoms are a minor cold or something more serious like COVID? We'll talk about that coming up.